Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have duplicate I and duplicate R, and the J for score. Looking at ways to sort out the rack, and not seeing much. I have Lurry, JRS, not terrible I guess, and I think I'll go with this. Okay, I draw another R and a V, so still a fair way from a bingo at this stage. And I have Rogie on my rack. Rogie and Jiver through an E if my opponent provides one. Juror through a U. That would sort the rack out nicely. Juror, yeah. I have Visor on the rack, but my priority is to play off the J as soon as possible. Unless Visor plays for a really good score somewhere, but let's see what opponent does. Opponent could be close to a bingo here, taking quite a bit of time. 2 minutes nearly. Okay, opponent plays Xylan, and I'm looking at ways of... I have Revo here for 34. I'm not seeing... I was going to say I'm not seeing a J play, but Sidjo is good, I believe, for 46. Not a great rack leave, but hard to turn down that score. That's a fairly kind pickup. I have Virtue as a 5. VERTU. I have the re prefix. From an O, I would have overture. No O provided by opponent. And just looking at those RE words one last time. The T duplicates a tile on my rack, the I most likely to assist. An IVE ending word. Not seeing things through that. They've got the IER, but that UV... just not a great combo. Okay, what to do? My V plays above Ox, so a play of... I was going to say Vet, but not a great rack leave. 19 points only. Virtue doesn't quite reach the trip there. Do I have a 6-letter play ending in an E or a U? Virtue. I don't think you can spell virtue like that. Oh, you can, yeah. With an I and an E, so that's good. I triplicate the R's and duplicate the N's with one solitary vowel. So not a great rack to have to deal with on the next turn. Looking at ways of getting rid of 2 R's. Opponent plays Holm. I suppose I have firm here. Terrible rack, double R, double N. It's got to be close to -12 in equity. Maybe even a touch more. I'm not seeing great plays here. Fox can't extend Ox down to the double. So I might change here. Yeah. I'll keep the E, the R, and 1 N. How many N's to come? 3. Yeah, R, E. Actually, I might get rid of that second N as well. R, E exchanging the rest. Okay, that was a good pickup. I have Treeg, T-R-E-A-G-U. And hopefully that'll play. Hint is one spot it could play at. Do I have an 8 with the V? I have the A-G-E ending suffix. I think Holm might take an E actually. Treeg, I might be making that one up. Holm, no. Looking at possible 8s from the R. Okay, opponent plays off the Z for 24. Riz takes an A, so Treeg there's not enough space for Treeg there anyway. So I think I'll play Treeg here for 69. I draw the Q, so I have Quino here for 48. That'll be a handy spot for the Q if it remains available. I have Chin if it plays anywhere, not sure. My A can go in front of, at the back of Riz rather. So, my Quino spot remains available. And just looking if by chance I might have an 8-letter play through this U. Doesn't look like it. I'm going with Quino. Good rack leave. 48. I draw the first blank, and although I've got a vowel heavy rack, there might well be something here. Aesthete almost, but I've got the two A's to deal with. Aesthetic, aesthete, yeah, it would be E-T-E at the end. Do I have heteras, heterae. It doesn't take an S, heterae. No T or R available anyway. Just looking at compound words. C, I have the C component, and I have the head component of a word. My A can play under the Z, so row 4, a bingo lane, for bingos beginning in A or E. So close. I feel there is something here. And the V looks like it actually helps this rack. A heave. That V looks really handy. Just seems like it works well with this rack. Okay, I'll abandon the search here. And I wonder if I just play Haze here to take out the spot, keep my blank, 30 points. Yeah, I'll go with this. There's still bingo lanes aplenty on this board. Not ideal. Etamoya, not quite. I thought I had noyades, but noyade, yeah, I've got the two A's, so I'm looking at maybe starting the word with the A and possibly ending it with an A. That seems like the order of things likely with these tiles. Annoyance, not quite annoyance. That would be a 9. I have the aero prefix, that doesn't look useful. Aero, no. Oh, so close. Alright, I'm going to go with do I play AY here for 21? Or do I play OK here for 24? I like this play better. Okay, I still got the two A's. A warned is good. AWA. That's okay for 83. Does it play elsewhere? DUH is good, so a play ending in AD would also work as a bingo. Just looking if I have a bingo ending in an A or an E under the F. Wandage, no, windage is good, but just looking at these tiles and wondering if there's anything else, preferably ending in an E or an A. Not seeing such a play. Opponent taking a bit of time on this move. Perhaps he is close. Okay, he plays spod, and now I have a better spot for a wand. No, I don't, do I? Just looking if I have an 8 playing onto this ending in ED. Not seeing it. Okay, a wand for 83. And that's a dream pickup. Tabered. Oh, not tabered. I'm looking. Well, tabered, yeah, but across the top, but and be rated as well. But onto this D would be the optimal play, since no 4-timers look like they're achievable. D beta. I have the bread component of a word. Don't think that's gonna help much. This rack plus a D. Not seeing it. Okay, opponent now does provide additional floaters, takes my preferred spot for be rated, and provides the U. Under bat? No, I don't think that would be a thing. I might go with bantered. Bantered seems okay. Nothing through the G. It gives a little bit back because it doesn't reach the trip. So let me see if I have anything through the U. Tayboard. Tayboard. Seems like a safer play. I felt leaving the E under there just gave too much back to opponent. Although I guess this is a hot spot too for a 5-letter play. Yep, or a 6-letter play. So much of a muchness there. Now what can I do with my... I have E now. That seems like it'll score quite nicely. Yeah, happy with that. 33. And then impones, but not empones. I have the men component. Pose men no good. And not quite menopause. Actually nowhere near menopause. Orgiat, okay. Anything with this rack and these floaters. Toe tipper. Okay, I might just go with something like pom here. Maybe even poem sorts the rack out nicely. 44. And then send to go out somewhere at the end, I guess. Was, aim and ren seems okay. And that's the end of the game. Thank my opponent. And let's have a look at what we missed here. Go back to the beginning of the game. And exchange does actually seem best there. Although I went with Lurie for 8. Slightly lower equity, but not much in it. Silex was opponent's best option through the eye. Sorting the rack out perfectly. ANT. As good a rack leave as you're going to get from that lot. He went with Xylan, scoring quite well and sorting out the consonant-heavy nature of the rack. Saijo for 46 was my play. Not a great rack leave, but close in terms of equity again, 34 to 36. So happy with Saijo, and then Hoik for 32 was opponent's best through the eye of Saijo. That would have scored nicely and left some synergetic tiles. Virtue best for 32, and then Hum for 22 at 7H was opponent's best, just across the top of Leary. He went with Holm, not far off. This was an exchange rack for me. Fern for 18. I thought I had identified... I had thought of playing Firm, but Fern at L6. Let's have a look at that. Oh, of course, because Holm does take the E. So if I had identified that, I certainly would have gone for it. I did then spot the Holm E hook later, but didn't utilize it anyway. So not much in those, but a minor miss, I'll call that one. Div for 23 at 10H. 10H. Div, Hind and Div, and then leaving some scoring potential for the next move. Opponent went with Riz. Trig for 69 at 10H was mine. But, of course, because of the E hook, L1, Trig, I did contemplate playing it there, but I thought, well, leaving a T out in the trip lane is inviting a 30-plus point play, potentially. But yeah, for 9 extra points, it's almost worth doing. Anyway, I played a bit more defensively, not leaving a bunch of floaters apart from the E there, and the U, which isn't usually that helpful. But Trig over here would have left a whole lot of floaters there to utilize. Full-vid, that's not one you see every day at M9. Okay, through the U of Trig, full-vid. Wow. How does one memory peg a word like that? I walked into the store and it was full of videos. Maybe that's the way to do it. Anyway, 34 for full-vid. Opponent went with Vim, just to balance. Quino seems okay for 48. Quinoa, obviously the extra vowel, would have played off the A if I'd thought of it. So a slight miss there. Although Quinoa did open that trip lane at the bottom, so maybe even if I identified it, I would have kept the A back for myself. Opponent's rack now maturing towards bingo territory, but none on offer. Field for 49 was best at 14J. Oh, okay. Quinol and Field. Very nice. A good score, very close to bingo territory as far as the score goes. It might have been worth doing. Opponent went with Fenny, and then this is where I felt I was missing a bingo and there were none on offer. So I just went with OK for... Oh no, this wasn't the OK rack. This was the... Let's have a look what I did here. Hayes for 30. Oh, that's the thought of leaving that trip lane open with 2 S's and a blank to come. I thought just mitigate the danger. When you've got that kind of lead, it's best to shut down the easy scoring lanes, which I did, and retained a blank and a couple of outs. So still happy with my play for those reasons stated. And then opponent struggling here with duplicates and clunky tiles. Blood for 29. That's a good score at 14L with that rack. Again, getting the L hook onto Quino. So Blood and Quinol. He went with Bud, and then KO for 29, and I went with OK. Oh, of course, because better value from the Y, KO. Although it would have given some score back there, so not a huge amount in it. And yeah, that didn't give anything back to opponent, literally nothing, apart from a 6-letter play beginning with a O. Good luck trying to find one of them. So Plod for 29 was best at 14L, and that's again taking advantage of that L hook on Quino. Opponent went with Spod for 33, and then a Warned seems okay for 83. Opponent now back to a struggle rack, and Unget for 18 was his play, but he could have got 30 at 5C there under ZA by playing Got. Yeah, that would have been a good play. Unget, and then tabarded. Right, so that's assume a verb as well. Tabarded. Not necessarily, it could be an adjective, but sounds like it could also be a verb. Tabard. Tabarded. Okay, so missed there, but at least I got a bingo down with tabered and falcon. No sooner had I identified that odd spot, then a bingo came down with Falcon for 54, so nice find by opponent. And then E now for 33 seems best. This was just the end game now. Orgiat for 27, nice find by opponent. And then Poem for 44 was my play, that seems best. GI for 8 and Sen for 20. So that was the end of that one. Had a pretty good run on the tiles, 1 or 2 misses, but all in all, a pretty good game. Hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.